Hello, fellow Star Wars fans. It is Starrapter here, coming at you with another The Mandalorian review. This time it's for Season 1, Episode 3, titled The Sin, also known as Chapter 3. I will be going into full spoilers for this review, as I do for all of my other Mandalorian reviews. So that being said, let's just jump right in. We have the Mandalorian returning the asset, aka Baby Yoda. He has a bit of a moment where he says, in his mind, this is not the right thing to do. He goes back after finding out that the Empire is involved. He takes his baby, and an entire shootout occurs between the Empire and all the bounty hunters of Greef Karga, and it's just absolutely epic. And just, this show just keeps ramping up. It keeps getting better and better and better, and this entire episode was super cinematic. So just breaking down the things that I think stood out to me the most. First off, the Mandalorian having a heart. So the whole second episode was built upon him getting like these feelings kind of for this creature that saved his life, has the Force. There's something very special about this creature, and I think this moment here in this episode will sell anybody on the Mandalorian being more than just a guy walking around in armor. Like, this guy has aspirations. He has a past, which we learn even more about thanks to him making his armor. We get more flashbacks, more the CIS of the super battle droid gunship. I mean, come on, this is just awesome stuff. But in general, we're getting more into his backstory. I love seeing about how he was in the den. I don't even know what the place is called where all the other Mandalorians are. And they're even squabbling, saying, look, these Beskar pieces that he got in reward for returning Baby Yoda is actually, has the touch of the Empire on it. Like, they don't want the taint of the Empire on their stuff, because the Empire was the one that slaughtered them all in this purge, which I think we see in Star Wars Rebels, or at least we see the beginnings of it in Star Wars Rebels. So seeing how they're fighting against each other, and then the armor, who I guess is like the matriarch of this entire organization of surviving Mandalorians, basically has them all reuniting again. So it was cool to see, like, other Mandalorians actually speaking to one another, what the protocol is. Also, a nice little Easter egg in this is the ice cream container that Wilrow Hood has is the container that the client puts the Beskar in. I thought that was a really cool way to go about it. And just that whole shootout with the stormtroopers in the compound, literally seeing every weapon that the Mandalorian has at his disposal. We have the flamethrower. He uses the singing bird, which I thought was just a super unique weapon. It kind of reminded me a little bit of the Needler from Halo, and just the fact that, there's no way of getting out of this. The situation who is, 4-1 or whatever it was, and they were able to AoE and just area of effect, get everybody in that radius. Awesome stuff there. Lots of moments of tension that I really, really dug. This episode is directed by Deborah Chow, who's also going to be directing every episode of the Obi-Wan series. So just from my first reaction of seeing her episode she did this week, I hold her in high esteem, basically, because I think she's going to be able to tackle it. But I don't want to get too ahead of myself on that. And just this whole bounty code, and the fact that, when you do a bounty, you're not supposed to really pry into the client about what they're doing with the bounty. You do the job, and that's it. You don't really worry about any of the repercussions. And the fact that the Mandalorian did, now he is like the most wanted man in the galaxy, because not only did he have to deal with the stormtroopers, but he had to deal with Greef Karga's bounty hunters at the end there. Wow, that was so awesome. Like the shootout in the speeder. And again, another moment of how the heck is he going to get out of here? He's held at gunpoint by like 30 guys. We see how proficient he is as a Mandalorian, especially with his new Beskar armor, which I really, really love, by the way. It looks a lot like Jango Fett's. But the fact that he's able to hold off all these bounty hunters, and then the Mandalorians come in on jetpacks? Are you freaking kidding me, guys? Like, that was one of the coolest moments I've ever seen in Star Wars, period. Animated, live action, whatever. That was just this moment that fans, especially if you've watched Rebels, if you've watched Clone Wars, we've seen this happen, but never in a format of live action. To see them, especially with the jetpacks, the one Mandalorian has a heavy armor, he has a big Gatling gun. Like, it was the most badass thing I've ever seen in live action for Star Wars. Well, that's because it's a TV series, I meant. But anyway, I'm just so flustered because of how awesome that moment is, just to put it simply. So where does the Mandalorian go from here? Where does he go? well, we have Grief Karga, he's still surviving. We have all his bounty hunters, he can call out a beck and a whim. We have the Empire, and I think this is where we have Moff Gideon, which is the Giancarlo Esposito. He's not appeared in the show yet, but I feel like the client is going to contact him to go and hunt down the Mandalorian to get this asset back. I think that's our entire plot of this season, is the Mandalorian is going to be running away from all these bounty hunters and the ex-Imperials. So it's going to be really interesting, and I like how this almost felt like an arc that had completed. Like, you had the 3 episodes with the asset Baby Yoda, and now we're going to go to a completely other planet to hopefully meet with Cara Dune and see what she's up to over there on the other side of the galaxy. So what did you guys think of The Mandalorian, The Sin? Did you love it as much as I did? Let's talk about it all in the comment section down below. If you guys are new to the channel, welcome. I do The Mandalorian reviews every single week, so if you liked what I had to say about this one, make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell so you never miss another video. I also just put up my review for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order, which is perhaps one of the best Star Wars games ever created, so make sure you go ahead and check that out. That's going to do it for me, Starrapter. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy, and if you enjoyed this video, I also included 2 videos down below you guys should check out, and please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me, and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.